Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 7th round of the 1956 season, the German Grand Prix. But before we begin, a patch was released for the F1 Challenge VB mod very recently. Unfortunately, by the time I've noticed it was out, the British Grand Prix was already recorded and rendered, but I downloaded and installed it afterwards. And I'm bringing this up because the patch, among other things, affects the 1956 season, so you will see some new drivers and cars in these last two races. The patch was originally supposed to be released much earlier, but it seems that there were some delays, and I'm sure there's a good reason for the delay. In any case, without further ado, let's get on with today's video. The German Grand Prix was held on the 5th of August, it had 22 entries, 21 of them took part in the race, but 14 of them didn't make it past the finish line. The race consisted of 22 laps completed in 3 hours 38.43 seconds. Fangio started from pole with Collins in 2nd, Castellotti 3rd, Moss 4th and Musso 5th. Fangio won the German Grand Prix, Moss finished in 2nd, 46.4 seconds later. Berra came home in 3rd, 7 minutes 38.3 seconds later. Paco Godia finished in 4th, he was 2 laps down. And Louis Rosier finished the race in 5th, he was 3 laps behind. The fastest lap of the race was posted by Juan Manuel Fangio, and it took him 9 minutes 41.6 seconds to complete. We are once again back in Germany at the famous Nordschleife circuit, where a lap begins with quite a long run down into turn 1, a slow left-hander that's immediately followed by turn 2, a right-hand hairpin. This is followed by a long straight and another slow speed left-hander. Moving along, we come into this fast right-hander. Be careful around here because this turn can be very deceiving. It looks like you can go very fast through here, but there's a bridge right at the exit and it's very easy to crash into it if you're not careful. Further along, we come into a blind tight left-hander, brake early and ease the car into the corner. A little bit later we come into another slow blind left-hander. Once again you'll want to brake early and ease the car into the corner. This is immediately followed by a blind right-hander that goes up a hill. Easy on the throttle as you crest the hill, as the back likes to kick out here. Eventually we come into the most recognizable corner of the track, the famous carousel. Slow down and feed the car through the corner. Don't use too much power however, or you might end up watching the rest of the race from the sidelines. Next we come into what I like to call the mini carousel. This one's faster than its big brother, but care should be taken coming into it nonetheless. This is followed by a very long right-hander that brings us on to the longest straight in Formula 1. You can finally relax a bit before coming into the final corner of the circuit, and that is a lap around the Nordschleife circuit. And here we are at the Nordschleife in qualifying, coming around this left-hander where I lose control of my car and unfortunately I end up stalling the engine, and because the track is so long and it takes so long to do anything here, I decided that I wouldn't go through that. Again, that was nearly 20 minutes lost for nothing, so that is it for our qualifying session. And here we are. Here we have the previous German Grand Prix winners. Our name is not yet on that list. Hopefully we can get it there soon. I'd really like to win the German Grand Prix at least once. And we have Juan Manuel Fangio on pole with Jack Fairman in 2nd. 3rd is Titterington. 4th Ronald Flockhart. 5th Harry Schell. 6th Joe Bonnier. 17th Louis Rosier. Mike Hawthorne is 8th. Piero Taruffi 9th. Gendebian 10th. Horace Gould is in 11th. Roy Salvadori 12th. Halford is 13th. Volontario 14th. 15th is Paco Godia. 16th Scarlatti. 17th is Hermano da Silva Ramos. Jack Brabham is 18th. 19th is held by Tony Brooks. Wolfgang von Trips is 20th, and our guy Andy Higgs at the very back of the field. So, back in Germany after a short hiatus. Hopefully the race will go well. I'm really hoping for a good race, but we haven't managed to finish too many races. Only one out of all the German Grand Prix, and I I don't even know if it was in the points, probably it was, but there is a car on the to the right there off the track, and someone else is sideways on the track. As we now rush into turn 1 here, everyone's scrambling for position, so it's quite iffy, but we take our time and move up into 16th. We have Da Silva Ramos in the Simca in front of us. Hopefully we can overtake him as well, and we do. So we are now chasing after Paco Godia, who is around 1.5 seconds ahead of us as we come into turn 3 now. Brake a little bit early to avoid crashing into anyone. Unfortunately, that allows Da Silva Ramos to move in front of us, but I'm sure we can overtake him soon enough again. And there is a Maserati, I believe, that was trying to drive on the fence there for some reason. And here is a look at the start, a replay of the start. A small puff of smoke coming off my rear wheels, but that's okay. As we rush down into turn 1, we see cars all over scrambling for the tarmac and going all over the place. Now it looks like the AI doesn't really like to go in a straight line for some reason, or whatever. As we come through turn 2 here, we overtake the Maserati, and afterwards, oh, it actually looks like it had the prancing horse, so it might be a Ferrari. Anyway, we took the red car, and then we overtook the same car. And here is a replay of Jack Fairman losing control of his car and crashing into the fence there. Next we see Mike Hawthorne, who has some issues with his brakes already, so he pulls to the side and he's out of the German Grand Prix. Next we see Louis Rosier in his blue Maserati loses control of his car and he flips it upside down, and that is the end of his German Grand Prix. Next we have Gandebian in his Ferrari with the white-nosed Ferrari, and he kind of flips it over the fence, and he's behind the bushes there. We cannot see exactly what he's doing, but that's the end of his race. And here is Joe Bonnier losing control of his car as he comes through that right-hander, and well, it looks like he managed to fry his engine, so he is out of the Grand Prix as well. Next we have Roy Salvadori in his car. He loses control, tries to come back around, but then gets collected by one of the Maseratis. He loses his front left wheel, and he is out of the German Grand Prix. And then we have Ronald Flockhart. We see him in the background there. He kind of loses control of his car, tries to keep it under control, but was unable to, and then he gets collected by a Maserati, losing his rear left wheel. So that's the end of his German Grand Prix. As we see a bunch of cars kind of struggling to get around him. As we come around to start lap 2, we move up into second thanks to all that messing about from the AI. Some of the positions we've gained due to retirements, but most of them was because the AI kept losing control of their car at each and every corner. But you haven't missed all that much. It wasn't anything exciting. As we now take a look at Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari coming through this right-hander, a very dangerous corner. He loses control of the Ferrari, and well, I'm not really sure what. Oh, there he is, right at the top corner, left corner of the screen. And here we have Scarlatti. Not sure what's happened. Oh, there he is. He lost control of the car, went over the fence, and he's turning it around. He obviously he's out of the race because there's no way he can bring the car back around onto the track, because there is a fence there, and it has a collision mesh, so he won't be able to rejoin the race. And I'm speeding up the footage here to get to the end of it a bit quicker, because it's kind of funny to see what's going on here. As a bunch of cars go past him, obviously he's much slower because he's trying to turn into the fence. And here there we go. So he came around and ran off the hill there that supports the bridge, only to find himself upside down. And here we are on lap 3 coming. We caught up to Titterington and we are about to take the lead of the race from him, so that was quite an easy maneuver. We are now leading the German Grand Prix. Hopefully we will be able to keep hold of this lead. It's not going to be easy though. The circuit is very, very dangerous and very deceiving most of the times. We now move on to lap 5. We've built a massive gap on Titterington. He's about 46 seconds behind us, so very, very far away. We shouldn't have to worry about him too much, even if we make mistakes. And we now take a look at a replay of Harry Schell, who loses control of his Maserati, drives over the hill, he gets over the fence, and it looks like he still wants to race though. And oh, I think he drove off the circuit there. And here we have Jack Brabham in his Maserati, who unfortunately loses his brakes. He was about to complete lap 5, I believe, but anyway, that's the end of his race. As we now come through Carousel on lap 6, we've increased our gap on Titterington. We are now about 1 minute and almost 7 seconds ahead of him. And here is a replay of Tony Brooks in his BRM. Loses control of the car and, well, the AI kind of gets confused there and he retires as well. And here we are on lap 7, coming around to finish the German Grand Prix. Our first victory here, which is absolutely amazing. This is very, 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 very happy days for me. This is a very, very difficult circuit and a very difficult circuit to win at. And here we have the race results. 8 people finished, and we also managed to post the fastest lap of the race, which is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it is not a track record. We are 1 minute off, almost 1 minute off the track record. And here are the retirements as well. Quite a few people have retired. Well, so yeah. Overall, a good race for most of those who took part. A better outcome than I would have thought. I was almost certain that I would be the only one finishing the race if I were to finish. But yeah, good race. As we now come around to park our car. Normally there would be a gate and you'd drive around back onto the pits. So yeah, anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 56th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 3 pole positions, has set 11 fastest laps. His best finishes in first, has completed 38 races, 33 of them in the points, has won 21 Grand Prix, 4 of them at the Indianapolis 500, 2 at the Monaco Grand Prix, has 4 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 224 points, has retired 18 times, has experienced 1,274 out of 1,578 laps, has 5 bronze trophies, 3 silver trophies, 21 gold trophies, and as an extension, 21 podiums. And here is a quick look at the championship standings. Higgs takes the lead once again. Berra falls down into second, Villoresi is third, Schell fourth, and Sterling Moss is in fifth. And everyone has scored points all the way down to 16th position, which is held by Gerino Gerini. And at the very bottom of the standings we see Gandebian, who is in 32nd. So quite a few changes since the patch update. Unfortunately it came a bit late, but well, what can you do? At least we will get to enjoy the benefits of this patch for the final 2 races. I might return to the 1956 season at some point and do it again with the new features implemented into them. Anyway, that is it for the German Grand Prix. I had quite a bit of fun, although it was a little bit easy. I'm not really sure why, but it seemed to be a slightly easier race than all the previous races we had in the season. So, well, except for the first 3 races, which were, well, kind of awful races in and of themselves. But yeah, that is it for the race. Not much to add to that, really. I'm happy that at least 8 people finished the race. That's more than I thought would finish in this race, so that's good, I think. So yeah, our next race is the Italian Grand Prix, the final race of the season. I think we might just win the championship here because if I'm not mistaken, Giambera didn't race in Italy, so there's no way he can take the points away from us. I think. I'm not sure. But I guess we'll find out once we get there. So yeah, that is it from this video from me. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, link is in the description. I also have a second channel where I will be playing all sorts of different games. At the moment I'm doing a playthrough of the original Need for Speed Underground. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description to that as well. There's also a small announcement I'd like to make. November 22nd is a very special day for this channel, and for this occasion I've prepared a very special video. So make sure to mark November 22nd in your calendar, not to miss this special day. I'm not going to reveal exactly what it is. I'm just telling you so you know to expect a video on November 22nd. I think that falls on a Tuesday, so I'm very excited for this occasion, so hope everyone else is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.